Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to install two of the sort of starter pack items that I think every 997 owner should have on their car, which is a front plate tow hook mount, if you don't have a front plate already, and the Rennline charging and MagSafe phone mount for inside the cabin. So the biggest thing, depending on where you live, front plates are required, or they're not required. In Minnesota, where I live, they are required. And a lot of these cars come from states, warmer climates, where front plates might not be required by law, so they don't have them. Or if where they were required by law, they were sold new at the dealer with a front plate, and they had a OEM front plate bracket drilled into the front bumper permanently, leaving you with holes in your bumper and kind of a ugly permanent plate there. And if you remove it, you have the holes. You're looking to put caps in it or do something funky like that. But it's nice to be able to keep the clean look of the car if you want it. So the tow hook mount is a great option for that. So what that does is it utilizes the OEM tow hook mount where you would use to be towed with the OEM supplied tow hook that is in the front. But you can also utilize it as a front plate bracket. So I think this is pretty common. Most people know about it. I've got one on my Golf R that I've had since I got it new, and I'm gonna put one on this. So the only reason I'm concerned about the whole front plate thing is the state troopers around here and in Wisconsin and those areas can be kind of sticklers about some of these things like tint or front plates or whatever, some of these code violations on vehicles. The local police around here isn't really something that they worry about too much, but don't really feel like taking the chance at the cost of the ticket and having to deal with fixing it and whatever anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on. Good thing is it's pretty quick to remove for photos and videos and whatever else I wanna do. So that's the biggest beauty of it. So I'm gonna install that today. Now when you order this kit, this is what you get with it. You get the plate bracket itself. You get the screw that actually screws into the tow hook mount. This ball mount, which mounts into the screw itself. The ball mount bracket, which mounts to this. And then this is how the plate mounts to the ball itself. And then just the hardware and a diagram with some instructions. Now, we don't need those because we're not stupid. So we will figure this out on our own. But yeah, that's what you get when you order the Rennline new generation. Let me specify this. They have an old generation and a new generation kit. You want the new generation kit for 997s and newer. So this is what you get. So I forgot to press record to get this when I was pulling out the tow hook cover itself. But what you want to do is take a credit card or some card. I took my old PCA card. You can see I kind of bent the corner of it. And you want to stick it on the side, which is opposite to the actual retaining piece of plastic itself. And you just want to pop it in there and kind of just swerve around it, and it'll just pop this right out. You can see there's just a flat piece of plastic that holds it in there, and then a little clip that holds it at the top. I don't really want to push it in and do it again because it is kind of a pain, but this seems to be a good method to get it out. Now once you have this loose, you're just going to want to pinch the retaining clamp itself and pull this right out. So you can see it's just this little V shape here that holds it in. Just pinch that in, pull it right out, and then definitely hang on to this. Obviously, like I said, taking photos, if you ever resell the car, whatever, you can just pop this right back in and it looks like it never happened. Now this one has PPF on it. It's taken a few rock hits, as you can see. But again, if you ever get PPF as well, make sure they do this, even if you do have a plate mount in here, just because you'll want this done if you remove it. So what you want to do next is you want to take the actual screw portion itself and undo the set screw right on the top, this little black set screw, because you're going to want to insert the actual ball portion before you screw this in. This ball portion has a little hex nut type deal on the top of it where you can use a wrench to tighten it into the tow hook mount. So that's why we're gonna put this in here. Now, they have different indentations for how far you want this to protrude from the front bumper, and that's what the set screw is locking into. So you might have to do some adjustments after it's in, but we'll just see how that goes. Now this set screw is accepting a 3/16 hex wrench. So if you have a English set, it seems like that will be what you need to use. I'm starting out by putting mine on the 3rd indentation in, and we will see where that lines up, and then we will adjust if necessary. Now that we've got this put together, we can just start to screw it in by hand. You'll have to look down there, just get it aligned and get the screw starting to thread. And then once it's going, I grabbed a 17mm socket. I believe it's an English actual hex, but I don't have a deep enough one for that, so this 17mm seems to fit. And I'm just gonna do it by hand. It turns pretty easy. There's a few rough spots in there. Now once we get this bottomed out, we're just gonna crank it down. Alright, so I'm bottomed out there. I'm just going to take my ratchet here and just give her a nice crank. And that is on there pretty darn good. Yeah, that should not be going anywhere. And so now that we've got this in here where it's going to sit, we can put this on here, mock it up, and see if we chose the correct depth, which it looks like we did a perfect guess on that one. It is almost flush, which is, you want it as tight as possible. So that looks perfect to me. So now I'm just gonna line everything up. I'm gonna start by getting this loosely connected, getting the 2 brackets that connect to the ball just loosely attached with the provided screws. So I'm just gonna hand thread these just very, very loosely so I can still get this over the ball. And it should be able to fit just like that. So we can just very, very loosely tighten these, just enough so they don't fall off. There we go. And then what I wanna do is I'm gonna take the actual bracket itself and I'm gonna play around with the holes on here. You can see there's a few different adjustment options and see where I want this to actually sit on the front of my car. And then I'm just gonna very loosely connect everything and I'll come back and tighten it up once everything is aligned where we want it to be. So now I've got these mounting screws both fully tightened for the actual plate mount itself, but the ball mounts are still loose. This will allow us to adjust it and get it exactly where we want the plate to be pointing. And we can always go back and make adjustments, but I think this is starting to look pretty much where we want it to be. Alright, so now this is sitting pretty much exactly where we want it to be. Just below the curve of the front bumper, not too centered, a little bit off to the side. Looks as good as it really can with a front plate. Not a huge fan, I do love the clean look, but it is what it is and it's gonna function the way it's intended. So I'm gonna get the plate mounted on there. It also comes with mounting screws for the plate, just goes in each corner there. So I'm gonna get that connected up right now. Alrighty, that's it. That's all the steps there are. It's really easy, straightforward. But I thought it was worth documenting because I'm assuming a lot of people are going to do it, just like me. And yeah, it's a pretty high quality product. The way it's made feels awesome. It's just milled aluminum and it feels really nice. So here is our final result. Sorry I can't get back further. It's raining outside and I don't want to move cars. So here's what we got. Looks pretty good. Aligns great. Really tight to the bumper, which we like. Pretty much as tight as you can get it with the way that the mounting hardware is set up. And yeah, it looks good. If anything, it might either buy some painted screws or just paint these ones myself, and or get some sort of a black frame or something to make this look a little cleaner. But overall, not too shabby. All right, so here is what our front plate is looking like. I think it looks pretty good for what it is. Could be worse. So just for comparison's sake, I wanted everyone to take a good look at the Rennline mount for the 997 and compare it to what I have on my Golf R, which is a US Millworks mount. Slightly different design. I much prefer the Rennline one. The screws are on the top for the Rennline, so I can just adjust from the top, whereas this I have to remove the plate because the screws are on the face of this plate to adjust from the ball mount. So I think the Rennline is a better design. Yeah, just wanted to do a little comparison there. Alright, so I know I originally said that I was going to do the Rennline phone mount in this video as well, but I kind of ran out of time here. This video is over 10 minutes long as it sits, and the rest of the footage from the phone mount install is another 10-15 minutes, so going to be too long of a video, I think, for just one, so I'm going to break them into two. So I'm just filming this outro right here, and then you'll see me film the intro for the next video in this same exact outfit in the same exact spot. So thanks for watching this one. If you want to see the Rennline mount, that'll be coming probably in a week or so, so check that out. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.